my friends, it's me Blanche and welcome to Feast in the Middle East. In this channel, I not only share authentic, easy, and modern Middle Eastern recipes, but I also like to share tools that will hopefully empower you to live a more healthful and Mediterranean lifestyle. A few months back, I took a at-home test kit from Ombre Labs and I got my gut health tested, and I wasn't too thrilled with the result, even though it was okay. It was like 73. And many of you wanted me to follow up to see, did I implement the food changes, the probiotics, and what was my new score? Did all of that work? Well, in this episode, I'm going to share with you my latest test results, and I can't wait to tell you what happened right here on Feast in the Middle East. Now, for those of you that did not see my first video, I'm going to link up a card so you can get acquainted with what this test is all about, why it's important that your gut health is balanced, not only for brain fog, for bloating, for weight loss, weight gain. The gut affects every facet of your body. And when your gut is out of balance, your body is out of balance. So even though I was following a very whole foods Mediterranean diet, my test last time was 73, which was pretty good according to Ombre Labs, but not as high as it wanted it to be. And I'm a very competitive person with myself. I always like to strive to be the best that I can be. So I looked at the food recommendations that were provided to me by Ombre Labs based on my own specific test, and I implemented a lot of those changes for the past 5 months, or since I last put up my last video. I also took a probiotic daily, specifically the one that they recommended for me, which is a metabolic booster. Now, if you take this test, they might actually recommend a completely different food list and a different probiotic. Now, before I continue further, if you want to take this test and find out what your personal score is and take this journey with me, all you have to do is go to tryombre.com/BlancheTV, and with this particular link, you will get $30 off right now. So back to the test. When I took the test, a lot of my friends wanted to take the test too, and it was really fascinating, their scores. Like, my friend from Spain got a completely different food recommendations list than me. So for me, it said basically no lamb, no beef, unless you take a probiotic with it, and no chicken, instead eat turkey, and try to stay away from eggs. My friend from Spain said eat all the pork, lamb, beef, and chicken you want, and every kind of seafood imaginable. I was actually kind of jealous, but I knew that I had the probiotic support that I was going to take when I ate those no-no foods like eggs or chicken. So some of you watching are like, okay, Blanche, enough of your talking. What is your score? Well, this time I scored 89. So taking those probiotics and switching up my diet actually worked. I brought up my gut health score. I brought it up 16 points. As far as changes I could feel in my body, I never felt bloated. It was amazing. Like, when you remove foods that are incompatible with your gut, you really notice those changes. I was never bloated and my energy increased. Was there weight loss? Well, I didn't have a ton of weight to lose, but I lost a couple of pounds, which isn't huge, but it might be different for different people. So if you're eating a bunch of incompatible foods and you have weight to lose, it would be worth a try just to see what would happen. So here's another cool thing. Even though my overall score was 89, my gut diversity score was amazing at 97. So the higher the diversity score, which you can get from eating a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, you will get more beneficial gut and better health outcomes in general. So what I learned was, just because a diet is healthy for someone else, it doesn't necessarily mean that diet is healthy for you. So for example, my Spanish friend could eat all the red meats that she wanted, but mine recommended against it. And mine recommended the only kind of seafood that I don't really eat, like sea bass and anchovies and oysters. I'm never going to eat oysters. I tried to eat anchovies, but I was going to gag. So what I did instead is I ordered these cool anchovy tablets. They're used in Korean cooking. They're sort of like anchovy bouillon cubes. If you're interested, I could provide the Amazon link. I just ordered them on Amazon, and they provide tremendous flavor in my cooking. So instead of using chicken bouillon, I use these anchovy ones, and it gave my dishes a sort of Asian flavor. And I incorporated anchovies that way because honestly, I just could not, the anchovies were way too fishy and way too salty, and I like them in Caesar salad dressing, but other than that, I don't know, it was rough. It was rough, guys. And as for the recommendation to eat turkey instead of chicken, that was super easy. I mean, I would just get ground turkey instead of ground chicken and use that in my cooking. And whenever I cooked red meat for the family or whenever I made eggs, I made sure to take the probiotic supplement directly with the meal so that they would work together to balance out my gut health microbiome. What's interesting is because my gut microbiome changed slightly, so did my food choices. So before, my top fruit choices were like dragon fruit and grapes, and now they're apricots and cherries, which I actually enjoy more than dragon fruit and grapes. As far as vegetables, they added Brussels sprouts as the top ones to eat, aside from asparagus and celery, and that's great. I love Brussels sprouts, especially, browned in the oven with a little bit of salt and pepper. That is one of my favorite things to eat. The legume and seed recommendations stayed the same. For example, it told me to eat chickpeas and sesame seeds, which I incorporate both in hummus, which I eat almost every day. And that is definitely compatible with my ancestral diet, being Arab, being Middle Eastern. And here's another fascinating thing. So before, when I had a score of 73, it said to not drink any alcohol whatsoever. And now that my gut is more balanced, it's saying that I could drink as many kinds of wine as I wish. Red wine, white wine, rosé, whatever. It's recommending all the wines, which is funny because I'm not really a drinker, but I do like to put wine in my cooking. Like when I make a chicken marsala or when I make a cioppino or a bouillabaisse, I like to throw in a little bit of wine to add some flavor. And now I can do that with abandon, maybe pouring in the whole bottle. Depends who's eating it. If my kids are eating it, I guess not such a good idea.
How is it?
Good.
It looks like you're enjoying yourself. Oh, yeah, that looks like you're enjoying. Okay.
And as far as desserts, chocolate is here to stay, my friends, which makes me very happy because I eat chocolate every day, and it gave me an excuse to eat chocolate every day. And it's nice to know that when I'm eating chocolate, I could feel good about savoring and enjoying this dessert on a regular basis. Last video, I was kind of skeptical on whether probiotics work or not. But now that I've increased my score and feel awesome, yes, I do believe that probiotics do work. And not all probiotics are created equally. What I really like about this company is they recommend probiotics based on your score because they look at what you're lacking and then they have a probiotic that will fill in what you're lacking. So it's not like super specific to each individual, but they have quite a range to choose from and they know which one is going to benefit you versus one that might not offer you as many benefits. And I wanted to be diligent. I wanted to give this at least 3 months because I had read in many research papers that it takes a while for those changes to take place. So I really wanted to give you a more comprehensive review of Ombre to see how it worked for me. And again, if you want to try out this test, this has been a really fun and awesome journey. I love biohacking. You could just go to tryombre.com/BlancheTV and get $30 off. Now, I would love to know, for those of you that did take the test, did you take the probiotics? Did they cause positive changes for you? I want to know in the comments below, what kind of foods did they recommend for you? Did they tell you to shun eggs, to eat eggs? I'm so curious. I would love to know. So in short, this has been an eye-opening experience. And if you want to know, for example, what I eat in a day based on my new assessment, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.